So we're coming from child's pose, and then slowly on the exhale, walking up. Bring your knees together, bring your heels together. Come into Virasana, turn the palms up towards the sky. Close your eyes, and then go inwards. So one of the meanings of yoga is the idea of Samatva, finding harmony, equanimity as we've been working on, balance, coming inwards. So see if you can find the harmony between the inhales and then the exhales. Another meaning of yoga is skill in action. So as the inhale comes in and the body receives it, the breath continues. The skill of receiving the breath continues right up until the top of the breath when you can't receive anymore. And then the breath turns outwards. The skill of letting go continues. You continue to let go. We continue to let go. We continue to let go. On your next inhale, open your eyes, if your eyes were closed, and come on down to the floor and join me in a forearm plank. I'm going to put the timer on here so that we can do about 15 seconds and see how that goes. If that goes well, we'll take it up to 30 seconds. Okay, so bend your elbows, bring the forearms on top of each other, and this is about how far your elbows will be. You're going to place your elbows on the mat and your forearms right underneath your crown and your head and your neck, and then your fingers interlace. So go ahead and join me here. Okay, so interlace your fingers, and we're going to go for 15 seconds. Okay, curl your toes under, extend one leg back, then the other. Here we are in a full on forearm plank. So breathe in, breathe out, send the weight towards your toes. Breathe in through the crown, meaning lengthen the crown into the horizon. Exhale, lengthen the heels in the opposite direction. Okay, 5 more seconds. Inhale, exhale, press the forearms down, press the toes down, lift the belly button up towards your lower back. Imagine that you had a tail, send that tail straight back through the inner heels. Couple more breaths. Lift the thigh bones away from the floor, lift the pubic bone up, open the chest, press the forearms down. I think we kind of went towards 30 seconds here. And on the exhale, lower the belly down. Whew. Separate your fingertips. Make railroad tracks with your elbows and come into Sphinx pose. So here in Sphinx pose, bring the inner knees together. Spread your fingertips wide, press the palms down, and then start to scoop the elbows, scoop the palms towards you to open the chest. So we're going into a beautiful, delicious back bend. Once again, if you have a tail, or imagine that you have a tail, whip that tail side to side and then slowly drop that tail towards the floor so that extends right back towards the heels and lift your chest up. All right, here, take your left hand across your mat, take the right hand towards the right foot, and then bring the heel towards its own sit bone. This is a delicious stretch. Those of you who are a little bit more open can open this right collarbone up to the ear and then spin the chest open, elbow points up towards the sky. Last step of this pose, look forward and lift the heart up. So the left elbow is doing a lot of work, the right elbow is lifting up. You should be feeling a delicious stretch here. Delicious can sometimes also mean very sensational, high in sensations. A delicious stretch here in the quadriceps, the right quad, the right chest. Breathe in. Find that harmony in the inhale. Keep the skill of the action of the breath moving forward, in, and moving out. Then slowly release. Oof, that felt good. I could use more of that. Take the right hand across the chest or across the floor. Left knee bends. Hug the knees towards each other. Flex the, point the left toes and then reach for your left foot. Draw the left heel towards the left buttock. Then lift the chest up. Some of you open that left collarbone, point the left elbow towards the sky. Spin the fingers towards your shoulder and then press down and go back into that pose. Breathe. One more breath. Can you find the balance of power, the lifting, with the equal amount of balance of surrendering? Softening the eyes, softening the throat back. One more breath. Beautiful, and slowly release. Shake your hips side to side. Slide your palms closer towards the floating ribs. Curl the toes under, and then push up into upward facing dog. Here, flatten the toes. Press the palms down, widen the chest, drop the tailbone down, and then roll your eyes up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Ardha Mukha, hug the heels in. Adho Mukha, Shavasana, down facing dog. Whew, that felt great. All right, slowly start to walk your hands in. Spin the toes a 1/4 degree wide, so 45 degrees wide, and come to sit down in Malasana. Garland pose. Sit bones pull down and release down towards the ground. Elbows press into the inner thighs. Heart wide open. Smile. Release the tailbone down. Curl it slightly forward towards the front of your mat. Then keep lifting the chest up. Keep lifting your eyes up. Open the heart. Open the elbows. Inner elbows to the inner armpits. Wide and spacious. Okay, one more breath here. So those of you at home, who can't bring your heels down, option to keep your heels up. That is absolutely acceptable. Those of you who have props like blankets or towels or even your own mat, you can curl the mat under to a height that's acceptable to you and drop the heels down there. So any of these variations work. Okay, I'm ready to take you to the next variation. Go ahead and stay facing the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn towards you. You're going to bring the inner heels, zip them in, big toes, zip them in together. Open the knees apart and then walk your hands forward. Draw the hips back. So push the floor away, draw the hips back, and then soften your chest, surrender your chest towards the floor. Drop your head down towards the toes and feel this pose all the way from the tailbone across your back body, and soften your head down towards the floor. As you stay in this pose, can you feel the spine rounding away with each inhale and each exhale? So rounding away from the floor. The tailbone curling forward. At the same time, the hips pulling back. The chest lengthening forward. So there's a big arc between the tailbone and the crown. But at the same time, you're rounding, releasing, surrendering. So where in the conveyor belt, the life's ups and down, can we soften? And just sit with the sensations. Sit with the fluctuations and observe. Okay, on your next exhale, rock it in. Okay, let's take this into Bakasana. So, hands flat on the ground, on your mat, or walk your hands off the floor walk your mat off the floor. Then On the exhale, just lift your knees up and then inhale, release them down. Exhale, hug your belly in, lift your knees up and release them down. We'll do this one more time. Exhale, hug your knees in so the breath moves out. The belly has the opportunity to draw into the back. The knees can lift up. On the inhale, we release down. Let's take it into Bakasana. Okay? So hug your knees into the triceps. Lift your knees up into the triceps as high as possible. Now exhale, draw the navel in and round that spine. And then from here, maybe bend the elbows a little bit, make it a little table shelf with the elbows, lift one heel up, lift the other heel up, and then balance on your palms, Bakasana. Keep looking forward. I'm going to show you what the sign of this looks like. Keep looking forward, about one and a half foot ahead of your palms to keep the balance. So I'm going to just show you the side profile. My knees are lifting up. I'm rounding my spine, making a little bend in the elbows. I'm hugging the knees in. I lift one leg, I lift the other leg, and here I go. I'm balancing. My chin is slightly extending forward to help me stay balanced in this pose. From here, slowly hug the heels in, lower the toes down. I hope you were able to get up, and if not, we'll do this again in some of our next practices. So not to worry at all. Let's unwind out of Balasana into downward facing dog. Lift your feet up, lift your hips up. Shake your legs, bend your knees. And if Bakasana caused any stress, be aware of it and let's take it out, release it. So inhale in through the nose. Exhale, horse lifts. Let's do it again. Inhale in, lift your heels, hips up. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. All right, bend your knees, lower down to the floor, and then sweep your feet forward. And then come and join me on the floor for a few variations of bridge. Since we were just in Bakasana, we activated or shrugged or strengthened the quadriceps, the core, the chest, the pectoral muscles. So I want to open them up to do the opposite of what we just strengthened. So let's open those muscles up. So come and join me onto the floor on your backs. Line your heels hip distance width. And then let's bend our elbows, come into robot arms. So on the inhale, you're going to press into the feet, lift the hips up. And on the exhale, just going to release the hips down. Let's do this a couple of times. Inhale, lifting the hips up. And then exhale down. And one more time, inhale, lift up. And then exhale down. Okay, let's make a few adjustments in the next round. So inhale, press into the upper arms. Widen the collarbones, snuggle the shoulders in, and lift the hips up. And let's stay here for a bit. So really ground those feet. Draw the chin up. Pull it away from the throat. And then here, notice if you can get more access to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Pull them towards the heels. Then maybe hug, press the elbows in, hug the blades, the shoulder blades towards each other and get a little higher lift in the chest. Press into the feet, get a little higher lift in the hips. Lift the toes up. Separate the toes and feel the arches underneath the balls of the feet and the heels. Lastly, imagine that I was right there in the room with you and I placed a block in between your inner thighs. So hug your inner thighs slightly in and let the inner thigh flesh release downwards towards the floor so that your buttock can soften. From here, those of you who have mobility can extend the fingertips towards each other, interlace the fingers underneath them, roll the triceps towards the floor, and then lift the heart up. Last but not the least, pull your chin slightly away so that you can carry a mini lime. So the size of a lime can fit easily underneath your throat and your heart. And you press down into the back of the head to lift a little bit higher. Take one more breath. And exhale, let it go. I hope that you were able to feel an opening all over the front body, and you were able to feel the work along the back body. Second round, if you have a block with you, lift your hips up and slide a block across the back of your hips. And then settle your hips on the block and turn your palms open. So here we have a version of bridge pose, but it's a restorative version where the pose is sort of happening for us. If you were able to find a block, or perhaps stop this video now and grab a book that could easily fit across the width of your hips, slide the book underneath your hips, and then play the class again, and then join me here. Take the right foot, place the right foot down, lift the left leg up, point your toe, flex it, and then press down into both hips and lift both legs up. And here we stay for a few breaths. Keep the chest widening and opening. Feel the backs of the shoulders becoming the bridge in the pose. So now the sit bones are down on your block, and the arc, the horseshoe shaped of the shoulders are the second structure, holding the arc of your spine up. There is about 2 to 3 width space between the back of the head. The neck is arcing, floating away from the floor, about 2 to 3 fingers width high between the shoulders and the rounded part of your head. So a couple more breaths here. So this is an immersion. It is challenging. At the same time, it's restoring in a way that all the fluids that are held at the bottom of our feet are now getting the opportunity to drain back towards the hips so they can make an easy access to the heart for recirculation. So new fresh oxygen moving towards the hips to circulate back through the heart. And then it'll go back to all of the entire body. Take one more breath here. Okay, so we started with our left leg up. So we're going to bend the left knee first and release the toe down to the ground. And then bend the right. Okay, lift your hips up. Length of the tailbone forward. And then slowly lower the spine down. That was a delicious back bend. Here, let's get into some hips and then go into some twists. Bend the right knee, hug the right knee into the chest. Let's straighten the left leg for a moment. Just take a few deep breaths here. Wind expeller. Interlace the fingers. Release the hands behind the hamstrings. And then draw the knee towards the chest and take the right foot up towards the sky. So notice that I'm not straightening that leg, I'm keeping it bent. And if I were to turn myself towards the floor, this looks like a lunge. Walk your hands up towards the medius part of your calf and then extend that leg. You're going to feel a lot of sensation here. And once again, for me, I call it delicious because I get to open parts of my body that clearly need it. And I'm grateful for that time. Peel or curl the right outer foot, the pinky side of the foot closer towards you, and press the big toe towards the ceiling. Notice what changes in your body. Okay, take one more breath here. Exhale, bend the knee, release it to the floor. Hug your left knee in, interlace the fingers, straighten, flex the right foot, drag it forward until the thigh bone, hamstring, calf hits the floor. Line up your left knee towards your left shoulder. Take one more breath. Look straight up at the ceiling and then release your hands behind the left hamstring. Extend the left heel up towards the sky until the foot is parallel to the ceiling, and then hug your knee in. Notice if this feels like a lunge if you were standing on the floor. And then walk your hands up the crease of the knee into the bicep, into the, not the bicep, the calf muscle. Place the fingertips into the middle of the thickest part of the calf muscle and then straighten that leg, any amount. If that knee's bent, it's absolutely fine. Just straighten it any amount. So any amount is, it looks different from me, then it will look different for you, and vice versa. Spread your toes wide. Press the mound of the big toe up and curl the pinky toes towards you. Take one more breath. Extend both feet, flex both feet. One more breath and exhale. Release. Okay, bend your knees again. Open the right knee to the side. Slide the right heel over the left knee. So we're coming into figure 4. And then release your arms overhead. Bend your elbows and then bring the forearms stacking on top of each other and the palms on the elbows. Take a breath in here. On your next exhale, release the right foot over to your left. And then reach your right arm out to the side. If your neck is healthy and you have range of motion, lift your head, lower the right ear towards the floor, and smile. Close your eyes. Can you feel this pose lengthening and opening you up across your chest? Can you feel the sensations of the body from the right hip all the way up towards the right armpit? Can you open the mouth and release and relax the jaw and let the right temple become spacious? Can you move into that place where this experience can feel like something blissful? In some definitions of yoga, they say yoga is the feeling of ecstasy. Can you find that here? Okay, bring your right hand overhead. With your left leg, press in towards the midline of the body. Lift the right leg up. Release your hands. Open the left knee to the side. Lift the left heel onto the right. Reach your arms overhead. Flex the left foot. Bend the elbows. Bring the opposite elbow to the top. Inhale here. And on the exhale, the right foot drops over. The left foot drops over to the right. Extend your left hand across along the side body at the height of the shoulder. Lift your head up if you have a healthy neck, and lower the left ear down towards the floor. Close your eyes. Soften the left shoulder away from the left ear. Keep lengthening the left sit bone and breathe over the left hip. Breathe from the left hip up into the left armpit. From the left armpit over the left elbow and into the left wrist. As you breathe in, receive the breath. And as you breathe out, let the left lung, the back of the left chest, yield and soften towards the floor. On your next exhale, gather your navel in towards your back. Engage your right inner thigh and lift the left leg up. Separate the legs, bring the soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined cobbler's pose. Interlace the fingers, if you can reach, behind the feet. If you can't reach there, you can grab a hold of the big toes and yogi toe lock. And then open the knees wide. Send the knees away from you. I like interlacing my fingers behind. It gives me a little extra tension. And then you're sending the hips away, so you're keeping the length of your torso. So not fun doing this. And move it away. If it feels good, you can sort of rock side to side. And eventually go into stillness, find stillness. Another deep breath here. We're going to take this into happy baby. Draw the knees towards your armpits. Grab a hold of the top of the feet. Curl the fingertips to their individual feet. And then shine the soles of the feet up towards the sky. Send the tailbone, hips away from the crown in that direction. So I'm not curling upwards, I'm bringing this down to the floor and pulling my hips away. So I can feel maximum amount of opening in my lower back and the back of my hamstrings, shining the soles of my feet up towards the sky. And smile. Smile because you're already here. Move into the bliss, the feeling of bliss that comes from connecting to your breath and moving inwards into your own body. One whole breath. All right, we're coming to that favorite part of all of our practices, Shavasana. You can release your feet, turn your palms open, find a comfortable place for your legs in Shavasana. So this is traditional Shavasana. But I'm going to talk you into another variation. This variation is especially useful when we are restless. Although I'm feeling pretty calm now, I wanted to offer you another option. So bring the belly, thigh bones down, and then forearms together, slightly extended forward, and then drop your forehead onto your forearms. This is also a version of Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Notice how long or how many breaths it takes you to fully surrender. And the more you stay connected to your breath and connected to the awareness of your body, you realize that there are so many places to unfold and keep unfolding as you continue to stay in Shavasana. Releasing the belly, releasing the lower back, releasing the weight of the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the knees, the shins, the toes. Moving upwards, the hips, the belly, the heart, the chest, the throat, your head, the weight of your head, the weight of all those thoughts, the crown, and then all of you. Fully let go. Feel free to stay there longer if you have time. Otherwise, come on up with me ever so slowly. Push the floor away. Come into a cross-legged seat. Keeping that peaceful, soft, easy feeling. Bring the palms together at your heart. We're going to close our practice with a few ohms and a chant. Take a deep breath with me. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. With extreme gratitude for the knowledge, the technology and science of yoga, and for those of us who have the opportunity to practice it. Thank you for joining me today, and namaste.